this year?
Yeah, we'll get them.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about this. Last year, there were really no 40 years.
The tank caterpillars? Oh, 10. Oh, yeah.
So I'm hoping that it's just an anomaly from that. What do we have?
Robin.
Thank you.
All right, Alex, I think I started the feed.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to see if you can share it? Don, can you see us on? Not Don, Alex. Double check, let's see. Oh, good, we have 3 people on. Hi, everyone. We're just waiting for my connection and for a couple more people to join.
Right.
And also, we're working on. Oh, hi, Rex. And we're sharing this thing across a couple of platforms. So we'll start in about a minute or 2. In the meantime, enjoy this beautiful sign at the Jamaica Bay Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm going to share it.
It's playing fine, right? You see it? Okay, good.
Very clear.
Great. Don Rex Recker is on the line.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he just tuned on.
Tell him I have a bottle of scotch at my house.
Oh, you always have a bottle of scotch for Rex.
He would come and do all our sound thing for the holiday party, but he said he wanted some scotch. I bought a bottle. Every year I buy a bottle of scotch.
We got that bottle.
But now I'm going to drink it along with mine, so we'll share it, okay?
Oh, great. Thanks, Bradley. We will start
You don't even
very soon. I'm just waiting for connection to
It's a
start.
whiskey.
Okay, no thanks. Very popular in Scotland.
Is that what name sounds like? Scott?
Yeah.
Scotch, right? Scotland, Scotch. Got it. Hopscotch. How about that?
Yeah.
That I don't. That's Scotch. You used to play the hopscotch. You made like a big rectangle with the numbers, and you go 1, and you got to pick up the keys or something.
Hi, Eileen. Thanks for joining.
You throw the keys out. There's something.
We'll start very soon.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think there's some Scots tuning in to see what goes on at Jamaica Bay. Some of Miles' family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're over in Scotland?
Leslie.
Wait. So
Leslie
our
and-
family are coming over?
No, they're tuning in. They're going to watch.
I'm gonna watch.
They want to see what birds are about here.
Ready?
I'm sure that.
All right, great. We're going to get started. So let me get myself in position.
Okay.
Everyone who's tuning in, welcome to the Northeast chapter of the American Littoral Society's spring walk at the Jamaica Bay Wildlife Refuge. We have Don, of course, the famous Don, leading, and Alex Zablocki from the Jamaica Bay Rockaway Parks Conservancy. Don, take it away.
Hi. Greetings, everyone. Happy spring, live from Jamaica Bay. It's a beautiful spring morning, early spring, and we're waiting for the birds, but they're not here yet. All right. Even though it's just early spring, the birds are smart. They don't just wait for the warm day here. They wait for the lengthening day. So as daylight starts to lengthen, and a lot of the passerines, the small birds, the colorful warblers, they wait till mid-April, late April, and then they really push through it early in the mid-May. But now we expect to see a few birds. Hey, there's the first bird of spring right up there. Manus. Let me introduce Sarah Benson and her son Manus. Manus is our bird spotter today. Right? So he's got every bird we hope to see right here on his mask. Okay? So we'll zoom in on those. All right.
We're very
But our
well
first
prepared.
bird of spring, we see a robin, American robin. Everybody thinks that's, you know, a spring bird when you see a robin in spring. Actually, that robin has been here all winter.
Oh, yeah.
So robins overwinter here in the Northeast. What happens is the northern ones migrate. The ones that were here last summer migrate. The northern ones will probably stop here for the winter. The others head south to places like Florida for the winter. So it's just a translocation. But we're here at the Jamaica Bay Wildlife Visitor Center. And one of the problems we have here at the refuge is that when you have big plates of glass on windows, and it reflects any vegetation, The birds don't know. They see the reflection and they think they can fly there. They hit the glass and many of them die. But Alex is going to talk about an interesting project that Jamaica Bay Rockaway Park Conservancy is funding, along with a GoFundMe.
Thank you, Don.
So Alex, tell us.
Yeah, we're working with the Brooklyn Bird Club, the American Literal Society, and New York City Audubon to put what's called bird-friendly markers on these windows. It's a product from a company called Feathered Friendly. They work across the world to protect windows, protect birds from bird strikes by using these markers. We've raised money through the Brooklyn Bird Club and their members to help us get 50% of the way for this project. We're looking to raise the remaining amount of funds through a GoFundMe. We're halfway there, which is good news. Thank you to the over 40 individuals who gave money through the GoFundMe. So in partnership with the American Literal Society, New York City Audubon, the Brooklyn Bird Club, the Jamaica Bay Rockaway Parks Conservancy is asking for your support on the GoFundMe so we can complete this project in April. And what it will mean is that we'll have markers on all of the windows here at the Wildlife Refuge, right in the middle of Jamaica Bay, that's host to hundreds of thousands of birds every year that migrate through, and we'll protect them from bird collisions here at the Nature Center.
Okay, great. And for everyone who's tuning in, I'm actually going to drop that GoFundMe link into the comment box so you can see, and if you want to support, we'll have it right there. So actually, hold on. Or maybe not. Actually, if you want to drop it in the comments. I thought I had it in my clipboard, but it's something else. It was weird. Anyway, also Barbara and Mickey Cohen are joining in right now.
Hello, Barbara and Mickey. Great to see you tuning in to us.
Yeah. So we can keep going.
Old stomping grounds here in Jamaica Bay. So let's head out, everybody. Let's see what we can find. Some of the early signs of spring. Come on it. Take out some birds for us.
Oh, great. There it is. All right, everyone. So the link was just dropped to the bird fundraiser for the bird markers, right, Alex?
Yes.
Okay, so if anybody wants to donate to the GoFundMe to help put these up at the refuge, please do so when you have a chance. We would really appreciate it.
And just so all viewers know, we were able to work with the New York City Parks and the Brooklyn Bird Club, and we installed these bird markers at the Salt Marsh Nature Center at Marine Park in Brooklyn off Avenue U. So if you're going there birding this weekend or over the next few weeks, take a look at what the markers look like. That building is now, for the most part, bird safe from collisions, and that's a wonderful spot to go birding.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. What do we have here, Don?
One of the early wildflowers that we see here, okay? So it's really the first day actually the second day of spring, okay? And it's called the vernal equinox. Equinox means equal night. So we have equal daylight and equal nighttime at this time of year. And is the sun moving northward? No, the sun is stationary. The earth is warbling. So as we go around our orbit, around the sun, the earth goes like this. It tilts back and forth. So in the winter it's like this. So it's in the southern hemisphere. When we tilt like that, the sun's rays come up, and now it's coming into the northern hemisphere. And that will be our spring and summer. But one of the early plants here is actually this invasive plant called periwinkle, or Vinca minor.
I'm going to get down and show the flower
and there's
here.
The flower. The first flower of spring. Are you excited? Yes. Thank you. Oh my God. I'm beside myself. Actually, one of the early ones, a native one, I think, is Whitlow Grass. We might see that today. It's
Whitlow
usually
Grass?
in another area.
So Don, what was the name of this plant again for people tuning
It
in?
was periwinkle or Vinca minor. It's a ground carpet. It tends to take over, but I think it's welcome here, you know, because it does provide a nice ground layer of vegetation. It's very important to have vegetation at all levels. So a ground layer, a mid-shrub layer, a tall tree with a canopy layer. That provides the most diversity of habitat for birds.
Great.
Here comes some birders. You see any birds yet?
Just started.
Okay.
Should be good.
We're actually going down in elevation. We're from the high ground, and this whole area was flooded during Sandy. So during Sandy, I would estimate the water level was about this high. That's why you're seeing all those dead trees over there. What was that bird that one? I was trying to make it into an osprey, but it got away. But when the tide came up twice daily, what do you see?
A swallow right above you.
Oh, cool. That's the first one I've seen this spring. A tree swallow. We'll get a better look at tree swallows and their habitat here in a little bit. But just to say what happened here, we went through that transition. So this whole pond out there we're going to visit was once a salt marsh lagoon, subject to tidal action. That's why all those trees died. They couldn't handle the salt water coming in twice daily. But now everything's been put back in order. The pond is getting fresher. It's brackish right now. So here's some spring plants. Let me check out. This is one of my favorite plants here.
This bristly thorny
Yes,
thing?
this little guy here. See the tiny little buds come out? This is called beach plum, Prunus maritima. It's a native coastal plant, and by late April, a beautiful profusion of white flowers, tiny little flowers, which provide habitat for the pollinators. So we need to have early spring plant flowers for pollinators, the bees and the butterflies, the wasps, the flies, the moths. All will visit this plant. It does very well in this habitat.
Take a look at the buds here.
So this plant didn't die when it was inundated because it can handle the salt. Unfortunately, there's a lot of trumpet creeper kind of taking over here, so this should be cut out of there to open this area to protect that plant.
You mean those kind of whip-like vines?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a nice stand of red cedar, a really nice windbreak. So we have the sun over here, we have this windbreak behind us. This would be a warm spot on the refuge. Important to have, especially in the cold days in winter. All of these trees here were donated by South Shore Audubon. Thank you, South Shore Audubon. That was over 20 years ago. This is 20 years of growth now. They too survived Sandy. What do you have? Come on. Little tiny flowers coming out.
This is just starting.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
This is the Multiflora Rose. Rosa multiflora, many flowered rose.
Is it like that one?
It's like this one.
I'll get a closer look of the buds there.
This too, although invasive, and you don't want it on farmland,
Let's see.
here at the refuge is great
It might
habitat
be too
against
small.
buds,
My bad. Let's try that one.
those buds spreaded.
Yeah, these little buds came out.
A little
It's
blurry, but
starting to grow.
okay.
So in a few weeks, we'll start getting some more flowering plants here.
Now, Don, 2 weeks ago we were here and we had snow, right? Up to our knees. We were walking down here, right? Just a few weeks ago.
And we can still get snow. So don't be fooled by this warm day here. It's still only March. And I remember in 1982, I was here. April 6th, we had a foot of snow. So it can happen. It's not likely, it's very unusual, but it's possible. All right, so far we had a fish crow, a robin, and a tree swallow. Okay, not a great list, but again, just a few birds coming through. There's a gull, a herring gull, but herring gulls are here year round. We're looking for the new migrants coming. What do you have? Okay, it looks like this bird. Show them the red wing here. Not there, here. Turn it to the camera. He's got
Right
the red
there.
ring on his face. Actually, red wings were the first birds to come back. They came back in late February. But now they're singing, and we could expect to maybe hear some song.
Oh, I hear them now. It might come through on the camera if we're
The
quiet.
song?
Yeah.
You hear them?
Mm-hmm. In the distance.
All right. out here is the geese. I see some snow geese out there.
Hi, Peggy.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.
So let's see. What else? Show us some other birds, man. Let's go.
I don't
Look around.
see any of them.
Let's get looking.
Keep looking. Keep looking.
Let's see.
Oh, okay. So, all right, when I was leading walks here, and when I still do on occasion, we have a day. Oh, there's snow geese. Flock of snow geese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
There they
6.
Oh, we see them on the camera. Good.
Good. There's
That's the
6. We'll
flock
see many
line.
more. There's about 700 in the bay right now. They will leave in early April, which is good because they're marsh eaters. So we don't want them eating the newly sprouted marsh.
I'm guessing those prickly
But if I'm leading a walk and there's not a lot of birds, what do I talk about? All right?
Are these?
So technically I have rigged this trail. One of the things I did, I put up a bat box. You know, bats are one of the most important mammals on this planet. And they got a lot of bad press. But they are the major pollinators and insect eaters. Here, it's insect eaters. All our bats are insectivorous. In the tropics, many of them are pollinators. They pollinate all the beautiful tropical plants. But bats like these places to roost in, you know, during the day. At night, they'll come out and they'll forage for the insects here. So let's check it out. See if there's any bats. Maybe I can reach in and pull out a bat. Oh, I got one. I got one. Here it is. Looks like a long-eared bat. So I got to be careful he doesn't bite me. Okay, it could be a big-eared bat, long-eared bat. But look, bats are so interesting mammals. It's a mammal with wings. But here's the arms here, the legs, tail, and this is a little pouch. That's how they catch insects. So they'll fly around at night and they'll use their sonar to lock in on a moth, right? And they get it. They come in, they get it, and they put it in their little pouch, and then they reach down and they eat it. Very important
I
mammal.
didn't get that bat toy.
Where did I get this bat toy?
I want this.
Actually, this was given to me by Bat Conservation International.
I wish I could have it. It's very cool.
Danielle Gustafson, who's a board member, gave this to me. And I love bats. I've always been a member for many, many years. Look at the teeth in them. All right, we're going to put
Very
it back.
nice.
Not there. I'm going to put it back in my backpack.
In your backpack.
My backpack. Thank you. All right. Oh, yeah. Want to see the red wing?
Got a red wing blackbird. Oh
Most
yeah,
people
that's
should
the red
know
wing.
red wing.
That's great.
Thank you. Out west we have the tricolored, and in the Midwest we have the yellow-headed blackbird. I've only seen it here once, but we do see them occasion up here. It's a beautiful blackbird.
I think we had one in Forest Park last year, or Prospect Park. It was one of
Yeah,
those.
almost every year you'll hear of one somewhere.
Hmm.
Just a juvenile. The brown gulls are all juveniles, either first or second year gulls. That was, I think, the first year herring gull. What else is happening? Don't forget, with this temperature now, we can get the first garter snakes to come out. And they like to sun themselves on the edge of
There's
the
another red one.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole, oh, there's the snow geese. There's a flock eating the marsh out there. I don't know if you can see them. You see them?
I think I'll have better luck with the ones that hang out on the west pond. But
Yeah, right.
we'll see.
So there's the marsh. The marsh looks all brown now, but by first week in April, it's going to start greening. And by early May, that'll be emerald green. The beautiful salt marsh is the life's blood of Jamaica Bay, right here. Ready? Let's go. Let's get some more early birds.
I think I saw a mockingbird in the tree over here.
Yeah, we should see a mockingbird. Yeah, they're actually here year-round. You know, mockingbirds are fairly new arrivals. When I was a kid in 1950, I saw my first mockingbird in Phoenix, Arizona. Since then, they've kind of moved. you know, east and north here. So we have them nesting here actually. Here's the tree swallow box. We'll look for a better one. Finally, a sign.
Sign looks good.
Yeah, this is people.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Mockingbird.
yeah, mockingbird. Can
You know,
get 'em
I
up
can
there?
see that little blob right there in the
The
tree.
little blob in the tree is a mockingbird, gray bird. When he flies, you'll see white patches on the wings. And he will imitate a lot of the other birds around. They can fool you. Sometimes I'll hear a chickadee. Chickadee-dee-dee. I suppose it's a chickadee. It's really a mockingbird. But right here, people made paths off the main path. At the refuge, you're required to stay on the main trail. And the reason is you don't want to destroy the vegetation. You can see that's what's happened here. People wanted to go down there so they could view the marsh and see the osprey platform up there. But we've got to close these off, and it would be good to seed it in again, plant it. Then you have to patrol this area to make sure people are obeying the rules.
We hear the red-winged blackbird really well over here. I think he's sitting on the flag there.
What is it? Okay, we have
Oh, hey.
Sarah
Okay.
showing us the mockingbird.
Thank you,
Northern
Sarah.
mockingbird. Another bird we should possibly see. Gray catbird, a few usually overwinter here. Brown thrashers are possible. But a little later, all these birds will be nesting right off the trail side here. These three, northern mockingbird, gray catbird, and brown thrasher.
Nice.
Manus, you had a question over here.
What's the cactus?
What's the cactus?
Oh,
What is this? Are we out in Arizona? No.
look how wrinkly.
This is prickly pear cactus, which is native to the Northeast.
Oh, say that again as I was rising.
Prickly pear cactus. Opuntia humifusa. Pretty good. Are you impressed?
Very.
I can't remember the names of all my grandnieces and nephews, but I know Opuntia humifusa. The prickly pear cactus, which is a low-growing cactus, survives here because it's very poor, sandy, almost desert-like conditions. Here is station number 15. On the wrong side.
That's a
I have no idea what 15 means. You know, you still can check out these seasons because it's still possible to see that little saw-whet owl. I haven't seen one here at the Refuge in quite a while now, but they do exist. And right now they're probably starting to head back north to where they breed. But they will sit quietly, and they're only this big, trying to hide during the daylight in a cedar like this.
Some berries in there too.
Okay.
Cedar berries.
Oh, nice. Let me see if I can get a good close-up here. There we go. Yeah.
These are the juniper berries, which are used as or used to be used as a flavoring in gin. But the birds will eat them.
Does it smell nice?
Hey everyone.
Well, we have 28 people tuning in right now, so that's a good crowd.
Okay, it's a good start. But
Looking
so
for,
what? Go ahead.
oh,
Tom.
looking for snakes today.
Yeah, it's possible. With all the people on the trail, though, the snakes might shoot back.
So Don, if we find a piece of wood, right, you want to lift that piece of wood up? That would be ideal.
Maybe we'll see some of the mice, at least. That would be nice.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little bird box specific to a special bird here. And I haven't heard one of these birds yet this spring. It's a wren, a house wren. Now, house wrens are small birds, but with a big voice. And you can hear them a mile away. What we might hear today is the Carolina wren because they spend winter here. But we brought a special wren tool today.
What?
Check it out.
Oh, let me guess. It makes a whirring noise.
You're
going
good,
to
Manus. Don't worry.
See what's in this box. Right now it won't be a wren, but it'll be lit. Oops, we have another one over These are supposed to stand out. Okay. This box needs to be replaced. It's getting a little long in the tooth, like me. Oops. You can find this screw down there. All right, here. Here we go. Nope, not yet. We have another screw.
Needs a little maintenance.
Come on. Can you get it? There we go.
And we'll put it back.
All right.
Do the honors.
Do the honors. Pull it out.
Wait, is that one on there? Wait. It's stuck on something. That was
There it goes.
There it
Okay.
Another one. All right,
Now
ready
see what's
for the
inside.
unveiling. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the nest of the house wren. Unlike the other birds, they make their nests almost entirely of sticks. Right?
Are you taking it out?
Yeah, he's not going to use. He's going to make a new one this year. And you want to clean out the bird boxes because they can have parasites in there. Also, we want to be careful. What might jump out of here would be a little white-footed mouse, because in the wintertime, sometimes they use these old
Look at
wren
that.
nests. Look at
That's
that.
really
Can
packed.
you put it in here?
Yeah.
It's
So
probably
this nest
good
has
that
to
we're
be
cleaning
replaced
it.
on, right? Because it's cracked over
Yeah.
here. So we're going to put a new one up.
We'll come back. Oh, it's the beginning.
In the back?
Are they starting it?
No,
Wow,
they're
you
not
can
No,
yet.
not
see
yet.
how it kind of
What do we
twisted
have?
the
We have a
glass
little
around.
eggshell here, I think.
Oh, cool. Let's show the eggshell to the
I think
camera.
we do. Come on.
You can drop it long.
Oh,
This
yeah, I
is
see it, Don. It's right
hefty.
here on that side. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
Tiny little shell fragment of last year's nest.
You can drop it.
It is the coloration. Come on. Kind of brown with speckles. They're kind of blending in with the environment.
Perfect.
Excuse me.
But there's the-
And you know what I found, Don?
Sanitize.
I found fishing line in there.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah, which we
Let's see.
don't want to find in these things, right?
You don't want to find fishing line anywhere.
close look.
The American Little Society is doing a great job at collecting fishing
There we
line from
go.
around Jamaica Bay, thanks to the efforts of Lisa. And
Lisa Shepke,
Yep.
great bird.
and last year during the pandemic, we collected 10 pounds of fishing line. Imagine that, this fishing line, 10 pounds of this. What was it? Something like 14,000 football fields in length of line if we were to extend it all the way across.
I don't think that many. But
Maybe it
quite
wasn't
a
that
few.
many. It's on our website.
Maybe
It might have
400.
been, maybe 400. Yeah. 14,000.
But also thanks to a grant we received from Jamaica Bay Rockaway Parks Conservancy. Hello everybody, happy spring. But also in here we found a little spider web. So
Nice.
spiders, beetles, other insects, everybody
at
will
that.
use this, and it's a nice little winter area too. Oh, we got the little wren, a little wren feather.
We're all losing a
Isn't
little
that
bit of
cute?
hair, right? He lost a little bit of a feather there.
This is for you, a feather for your cap.
Oh, thank you.
That the tree swallows will co-opt if they have a chance.
All right, so we this box needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
So another day during the week we'll come back. We'll put a new wren box up
What do you
here.
wanna do with this?
Something heavy
We just
on
throw
it
it out.
would come off, right?
But the wren, look at all that work. And you know what the wrens do? The male wren is, well, they have nothing else to do, right? So they go around all day, break little branches, and they make a big nest and have their young.
Dewey.
But they will fill in any other cavity that's nearby to keep other wrens and birds from nesting in there. So they're very territorial little birds.
Right?
Let's see, no spiders, no beetles.
This box hasn't been cleaned out in quite a while.
Yeah. Oh, here's the remnants. This looks like a little spider egg case over here, possibly.
Can I see it?
I think that's what it is, that thing there.
Oh.
Oh my God. The wren bit me, look, I'm bleeding.
What is that?
So,
Did he poke himself?
He scraped himself on the wood.
yeah. Okay, we can put that, just stick it back for now. And
Okay.
Screw it in
I
later.
promise I'll come back and put a new
Yeah,
one
we'll put
there.
one. We'll put one screw. in.
Actually, I put them all up here myself. So most of the boxes we're going to visit today is boxes that I put up here when I worked here many years ago, and still to this day replace a lot of them. Okay.
Did you want to get your binoculars?
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Let's continue. A little further into time and pain. Somebody said. I'm being philosophical here.
Well paint.
Hello. Happy spring. Because in every life, a little rain must fall. You gotta think about that one too.
Don, do you think this area in here might be a good spot to look for snakes?
Possibly. Do you want to check it out? Could be. What's that? Oh,
We got a little jewel beetle, maybe?
it's a plant.
No, there was a worm there. He went down.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go. They're on there. Oh, they're moving.
Little pill bugs.
Mom,
Delicious.
give me your phone.
Pill bugs. They roll up into a little pill ball.
I want a picture of the centipede
Yep.
or
Oh.
millipede.
Where do here?
There we go.
How many-
Center or millipede?
Is there 100 legs or 1,000 legs?
Neither.
Center means 100. Miller
He
means
might bite
1,000.
you. Oh, there he goes.
So could be a little. Whoa! I think a little millipede. I'm not sure though.
Wow.
A little 1,000-legger.
Nice feller.
We're going to put him back. Disturbed his habitat. He was happy right there until we messed with him. Okay.
Anything else?
Piece of wood right there.
Wow.
This
Oh,
looks like
wait. I want to see.
Oh, I should tell Ziha. There's moss right there, too. Darn.
we need a big,
A bigger piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
a bigger
Like
piece
that?
like
I was
it.
thinking this one.
Well, that piece of wood.
Yeah, that's
Here we go. Can you get it?
Might
By the
find
way, all
some
this
cool
wood that's over here is leftover from Superstorm Sandy. It all washed in. Anything? A merit in there? No.
What about that piece of wood? That
So
other
this
one.
is the way we look for snakes and salamanders and things that
What about that
need
piece
a
of
little
wood?
moist environment, get out of the elements. Nobody.
Me.
We'll look for better picking.
You okay?
We good.
So as you can see, even though it is the first, I guess, full day of spring, actually spring occurred, I think it was 5:37 a.m. yesterday morning. The actual point when the sun and the equator is right above. Oh, 4 snow geese.
We'll see more.
These guys have such big birds. That's a quiet flight.
Oh, more.
Where?
I saw the shadow.
Oh, here.
Oh,
Boom. We got him.
I keep getting this rope on it.
I'm happy that we got them
all
on
right, that
camera.
one's a bird. We're going to question it first. Not with you, like these little gnats that come out early. Well, you need those for the feedies and
Yeah.
other spring birds.
You know what the helicopter bugs are?
Hello. Happy spring. So what did you see out there?
Yesterday the eagle was around.
An eagle?
Yeah, there's an eagle around.
All right, we will look for him. Thank you. See, that's how you find out what's here. You ask another bird or a photographer.
Helicopter bugs are?
What's that?
The helicopter bugs. They look like little helicopters on the side.
Plane fly, maybe? Ooh. All right, here. Oh, here's a tree swallow box over here. It's wilting a little. I mean, they'll use it. It'll get through another year. But notice the predator guard we had to put on. Because raccoons will clamber up the post on these boxes, reach in and pull out any baby birds or eggs. 2 more snow geese.
No, 4 more behind you.
More. We need a big
That's like
box.
5.
All right, we're going to look
No,
at
that's a blackback. That's a blackback one.
Oh, here's another bird box over here. We'll pick a better one. We'll look at.
So is the main goal today?
How many screws does this one have? Actually, the way this is supposed to be designed is 1 screw on each side and 1 here. So when you take this one out, you can tilt the box up. You know, like
This
that.
is top nails.
It's nailed in already, so we can't look in that box. Oh, by the way, there's an osprey platform out there. A day like today, we could see the first of the ospreys coming back. So in 1990, we had no nesting ospreys in Jamaica Bay. And every year now, we've been putting up new ones. And today, to date, we have 25 nesting pair. Ospreys are fully restored. And thanks again to Alex and Jamaica Bay Rockaway Parks Conservancy, who funds our raptor management program. In fact, today we're going to go out and replace 2 osprey platforms that have that needed a replacement, needed repair. But there's one. This is one of the originals. It's been here for, well, since 1990.
Wow.
So in 1991, we had an osprey nesting there, and every year since.
Got the video. There's an aluminum boat out there. I saw that earlier.
Oh yeah, look at that.
We should see if we
boat,
can rescue that.
derelict boat. I'm seeing, here comes some more snow geese. So the geese are heading out into the pond, which they do. They come into the brackish pond to rest and maybe drink. Even though they can actually drink salt water, they have a specialized gland which extracts the salt out of their blood, and they exude it from nasal openings. But they do prefer the sweet or fresh water if they can get it. So, and this is a stable body, so this is not subjected to. Usually it's calmer than the open bay, and it'll be stable. It's not subjected to tides anymore. What did you find? What did you find? Oh, song salad is cool. Anything good? Want anything good? No?
So Don, this last year during the pandemic, this place has been sort of rediscovered or discovered by so many New Yorkers. Did you normally see this many people here on a spring day?
Well, the first days of spring, if you get a nice day today, I would say yes.
Okay.
But over the winter, even on days that were not this nice, we had an uptick in visitation. People are looking for places they can go out, get out of the house. Oh yeah, Bonanza over here. So it's good. But these people need to be educated, initiated to why we have this place, what you need to do to preserve it. And so that's why we lead walks and tours and have events like this. But here's the West Pond.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
So in the foreground is a pair of male and female mallard ducks. Mallards are the ubiquitous duck that's found all around the city, in urban areas. I've even seen one nest in a flower pot down in Cactus. So there's the female venturing out, the male behind, the beautiful bright green head. The little birds out there with the little stiff tails are called Ruddy Ducks. And they're coming into their spring plumage. So the males will have a nice bright ruddy back, a big white cheek patch, and a blue bill. Very handsome duck. They're actually here year round. But in the springtime we see them more in the ponds here. In the winter they're out in more protected areas in the bay.
I think that kid's gonna throw a rock in the water.
Hello, hello. Hey. You can't go down there. Please stay on the trail. You're going to scare them away.
It's not actually a path that you should go on.
Yeah.
You should have realized.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. But see, if you go down there, and you scare them away, and nobody else gets to see them.
Yeah, come back, please.
Come back to the trail.
Let me see those shells. You know what those are? Those are clam shells. See this one here? American Indians used to make a bead out of this. It's called mercenaria mercenaria. This is the cherry stone or little neck clam. But this was used as a
Bring that over
form
here.
of barter or a form of money. There we go.
Instead of coins, instead
Yes.
of miniature like we have now.
Now, what are all these shells doing here?
Don't drop them.
Yes, thank you.
Smash them off.
So one gull in particular has learned that if he or she drops the clam on a hard surface, herring gulls mostly, it'll break open. So what you're seeing is several years worth of clam openings here.
Yep.
Oh,
Now, was that a good teaching moment or what?
That was pretty good teaching moment, yeah. For anyone who missed it, that little shell fragment was a Mercenaria mercenaria. And Don, what's that common name?
It would be the hard-shell clam,
The
or
hard-shell clam.
in stores it would be a cherry stone, if they're big ones.
Mm.
Smaller, there would be the top neck, and the tiny ones would be a little neck.
Mm.
Those are the ones that we like to eat.
The purple stuff.
Yeah, that's the edge of the clam shell. And if you scrape that off, they beat it up. The Indians used to make a necklace of beads. And if they liked something that you had, they would trade you the necklace of beads for your horse. You want to trade this for your horse?
No.
You didn't go for it.
It's my horse. I don't have a horse. I have a car.
There's a gull.
in the tree, in the bushes right there?
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
nests right there.
Yeah, this is the time of year you see nests. Now we can't go over there.
Yeah, we don't want to make a bad example.
Right. Those nests are probably song sparrows or mockingbirds. Could be a robin. Could be a catbird. Those are the birds, the shrub nesters on the side of the trail here.
That looks like a turtle nest. Okay.
Too early though, right?
Too early, but the sign is there. Those would be the ones
Hello.
from last year.
Hey, it's Shari.
Oh, hello!
How are you?
It's one of our members, Shari Romar. She's here with her.
Yay!
Oh, I like your mask. Look at us with our bird mask.
Did you hear we were having the talk today? What's that? Did you hear we were doing the Facebook Live today? Oh, cool. Okay.
Do you mind if I tag along a
Of
little?
course not.
We don't mind.
Hi, how are you?
Beautiful day for a walk.
Nana, I'm Sherry. Nice to meet you.
There's grass.
Yes, you know, during the season when the area becomes vegetated, you won't see that nest. In wintertime, you see how close these birds nested to the trail. This is most likely a mockingbird. Right? That would be my guess. It's positioned where it is, and nearby there's probably some nice berry shrubs around.
Let me get closer to the mockingbird real quick. I don't know if people will see it, but there's the nest. Right there. Yeah, y'all can have a good look at it. Sherry Meadows Ryan says hello.
Oh my gosh, what a small world it is. Hello, Meadows. Oh, that's great.
Hello. Oh wow, there's all the snow geese over there, Alex.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Some flying.
Oh yeah, you see the white speckles there.
And a bunch over there.
If we get to the edge of the breach, I might be able to see them on camera. Like if we cross to the other side.
So we are coming up to the famous breach. So during Superstorm Sandy, the bay and the pond, I don't know which broke which, broke through here. This became tidal. So every day the tide came in and out. And for 5 years, till the Park Service finally closed it off and reconnected the whole trail. So now this is a stable body of water. What's that out there? That's the Ruddy Duck. And what they had to do was put riprap there, and then they planted the sides. Unfortunately, I should have paid more attention. Although this is a nice coastal plant, by putting too many of these here, ultimately you're going to block this great view. So my suggestion is that we take and we remove a lot of these plants to make sure we have open views. And we transplant them to an upland area. We can make a nice dense copse of these red cedars, which are great for wintering birds. So Alex, what's going to happen here in this year, hopefully?
Yeah, Don, well, you can kind of see, Alex, if we pan the area here, the great deal of erosion that we've seen along the breach area. The water's coming up pretty close. You can see the rack line is almost up to the trail. And we got lucky this winter with nor'easters. The nor'easters did not breach the area that was breached back in 2012 during Superstorm Sandy. So we've been working with Don and Dan Mundy Jr. and Sr., the Jamaica Bay Eco Watchers, and the National Park Service on a restoration plan for this area. It's already designed 100%. We have our permits in place, and we're right now out for bid looking for contractors, and it would include restoring this area, 2,400 feet of shoreline from roughly this marsh over here all the way out to Terrapin Point. Wow. We bring in 44,000 cubic yards of clean sand to restore the area back to the former line that was out there somewhere in Jamaica Bay back in the 1970s, and then we'll plant this area with 200,000 native plants with the American Littoral Society, the Jamaica Bay Restoration Corps, and volunteers. The hope is this summer. So once our bids come back in on April 2nd, we'll know more about the construction timeline and when this restoration project will take place.
Cool.
Yeah,
Great
it's a good project for us here at the Refuge, and it's going to be a living shoreline, so it's all natural. It's going to have shell bag breakwater features to break the waves. We're using core logs, recycled Christmas trees that we collected during Christmas, and then this massive volunteer effort to restore this area with 200,000 native plants. And that builds on the work that Don's done and the Mundys have done on Ruler's Bar and Blackwall Marsh outside in those marsh islands that you see there, beautifully restored over the years. So we're building on that work here.
Great.
So, great project. We're looking forward to working here with big groups of volunteers. So I have reached out to a group called the We Love You Foundation. I hope there's someone listening out there, because they bring up many volunteers, 100 at a time. But given the pandemic, we have to be careful of how many people we bring and where they have to stay. And I'm still wearing a mask, right? Even though I've had my 2 shots of Moderna, because you can still, the variants are out there. You can still, you're only 90% or so protected. The other 10%, maybe you're in that category. So you want to wear your mask until all clear, until we have herd immunity, until everybody's inoculated. But I'm getting used to it. I sort of feel naked without it.
Right.
It's like underwear. I don't leave my house without underwear. Now, where's my mask?
It's funny, Don, too. I went hiking yesterday, and there were a lot of gnats out. We put our mask on, problem solved. So,
and in the winter, it was great. It was great against the cold.
Better for allergies.
yes, better for allergies.
Oh,
Let me
those are
see what's going on.
Mostly gulls. But I wanted to show, Alex mentioned the tide line here, or the rack line. You can see where the last big tides pushed up all that rack material, all dead grasses and Phragmites and the Spartina, comes up on the shore. Along with it came all these pieces of plastic. So one of the issues we have is marine debris. One issue we've been working on for over 30 years. We take part in International Coastal Cleanup every September, where we document the types of debris on over 250 shorelines in New York State. But even starting with Earth Day, we're going to start our cleanups to remove a lot of this debris from the shorelines, because this won't degrade. Lots of animals get in trouble with these things. It used to be the plastic 6-pack rings. I'd find gulls and Canada geese with them wrapped around their neck. And now fishing line, as Alex mentioned, we have one person who set up all these fishing line containers around the edges of the bay where people are fishing. Fishing line is a major problem with a lot of birds and fish and animals, marine life. They get tangled up in it. So anyway, now that I picked it up, I feel bad about putting it back, so I'm going to bring it with me.
Yeah, put it in your pocket.
I'll put it in my pocket for later.
What's this?
Sarah, but do you by any chance have an Aunt
Yeah,
Leslie?
this is an old...
Have a what?
yes,
An
bike
Aunt
people come
Leslie.
out.
Oh yeah,
we
that's
go.
his aunt in Scotland.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So we had Emma Kelly tuning in.
Oh nice.
So they're not very spicy. Oh yeah, they are.
I'm gonna ask my mom.
Ooh, look at those.
So
Let me take a
those
closer look at
spikes
those.
could be, yeah.
Is that from a thistle?
It's a thistle plant. Thank you. Thistle, right? Thistle.
Thistle. Mm-hmm.
A good spelling word.
Ah.
Yeah. So thistles.
Maybe knapweed.
One of the
That's
birds,
what that one.
the little goldfinches, love thistles, and that's what they feed on.
Take a picture of it, man.
You want a picture of the thistle?
Ooh, I'll get around here.
Yeah, you hold it. Let me take a picture.
Here we go.
I don't want it to swing into
I think you're good.
All right, we're right out the beach. We're looking at nice big flocks of snow geese. Again, they will be here for another few weeks only. So by the first week in April, they start heading back to Hudson and James Bay where they nest. Unfortunately, the snow goose populations have increased greatly over the years. When I was a kid, it was a rare bird.
Is that unfortunate?
But since they stopped the hunting pressure on them, they came back with a vengeance.
that
So now
good?
we have to increase the hunting pressure to bring the population down again.
Oh.
Because they will eat themselves out of house and home.
So there are too many?
There are too many snow geese. We don't want them. I think I see a peregrine falcon.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, your shirt. Yeah.
On his shirt.
Is that also an issue with the brant geese?
No.
No, okay.
The brant geese spending most of their time on the edges of the bay.
Okay.
All the highway edges, the golf
Okay.
courses, the grassy lawns.
Okay.
And that happened because brant geese used to be dependent solely on eelgrass.
Right. Right.
And in 1920s we had a blight. All the eelgrass died, a lot of the brant died. Those that survived learned to eat sea lettuce, the ulva.
Right. Okay.
So in 1978 we had a major frost here. I remember it. The whole bay was totally frozen solid. Even the big inlets, the big channels, frozen solid. So the brant were locked out of the ulva. Those that survived learned to eat golf grass, turf grass.
Okay.
Now that's what they do.
Got it.
So
So we don't have
Which
an
is-
overpopulation issue like the snow geese?
no, I don't. I don't know what the overall population of brant. It is substantial.
Yeah, yeah.
Because most of the brant, and these brant will be here till the end of May.
Right.
Because they go all the way up to northern Greenland and Baffin Island above the Arctic Circle where they breed. So they stay until the end of May before they even venture northward. In mid-October they come back, they spend the winter here. So, but in early spring, as the Spartina starts to grow in all the marshes, they will eat the new shoots, but what they do is they trim it.
Okay. They're not getting
So they're not rooting it.
Okay.
So later on I'll see Spartina, and you can see it's been clipped,
Trimmed.
but it grows. So, which is fine.
We had Sarah Smith in the chat saying that she's been seeing a lot of brant geese in Hudson River Park.
Yeah, all the parks, they're going out, venturing out into lawns, the sides of highways, the median strips of highways, and all, big grassy places like golf courses. So they're competing with the Canada geese, which kind of also do the same thing. But I hear some Canada geese, and along with some snow geese. But it's mostly snow geese today out here, along with the little ruddy ducks, cute little ruddy ducks. What do we have?
What are those little...
Oh, this is goldenrod, and this is the goldenrod gall. So an insect lays an egg in there. The plant responds almost like a cancer. It builds this protector around it, right? So the plant is trying to protect itself, but it also protects the little mite in there, the little egg case of
The mite's probably in there.
It could be. Wait, did he come out? He might have come out. Look at that. Little opening.
Let
So
me
he
take
came
a
out
close
already.
look.
But you can have that.
Can I have it?
1 minute. Let me show it to the
A
camera.
lot of them have come
Most of the goldenrod here is
There's the hole.
seaside goldenrod, which is a very important plant for the
out.
monarch
You sure he's come
butterfly.
out?
Not sure, but it almost looks like it.
Yeah.
You can open it up. But in September, late September through October,
Take a
all the
picture.
goldenrod will be in bloom, and that's very important because that's when we have the big migrations of monarchs, and they need that as a source of nectar. Shall we continue? How are we doing?
We're doing good. I mean, my connection is still good. We have 24 people tuning in. A few of the Bensons.
Some boat-tailed grackles on that tree over there. That's another fairly newcomer.
Oh, there they are.
The first boat-tails showed up here in the 70s. And I think in 1980, early 1980, we found the first nest of boat-tailed grackles for New York State right here.
Oh, you hear them now too.
Can you hear the gaff? To me, that's a song of the South. I associate boat-tailed grackles with Cumberland Island, Georgia. That's where I first saw them and learned about them.
Now, Don, this is a man-made pond, and they lower the water level, right?
Right. So technically, this time of year, the way the original setup was, we have a 45-acre pond here and a 117-acre pond called the East Pond on the other side of the boulevard. In the springtime, we would lower the water here to create a mud flat around the edge for the migratory shorebirds. The shorebirds, you know, in mid-May into early June, we have big migrations of shorebirds. Some coming non-stop from as far away as Brazil, landing here, and they forage along the shorelines. So they need those mud flats. And then in the fall migration, which is even larger because you have all the young of the year, we lower the East Pond. Actually, we're going to start lowering the East Pond next Friday, which is we're going to dig it out. And we have to dig out the valve. So at low tide, when the tide is out, water, when we open that gate, water pressure pushes the valve open on the other side and water comes out. And that lowers the pond. So that's traditional. That's what the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service does up and down the East Coast. So this refuge is actually designed by the Fish and Wildlife Service. But it was offered to them originally. I think they didn't want it. They were more interested in game birds at that point. They weren't yet into non-game birds or endangered species or, you know, recreational birding as much as today. So the Park Service was given the refuge. There's some mergansers, red-breasted mergansers. You know, those birds can be clocked at 100 miles an hour. They're one of the swiftest birds. They get a good tailwind, of course.
We probably got a few specks of them, but they flew over.
Is that the red wing or a boat tail? I think it's a boat tail.
Oh,
Two boat
coming
tails
over.
like this. Handsome birds. When they first came into the bay, they used to come to my dock, and I would feed them. I'd give them some good whole wheat or multigrain bread, you know, just. And the birds would call me. They want to come over. Can I come over and see the boat tail? Because it was a new bird for the state. Since then, they kind of spread out. And they're here year-round. In the wintertime, they winter in Broad Channel. And they hang around the channel. And at dusk, you can see them on the wires or on the trees on the side of the road at the north end of Broad Channel. And then right after sundown, they all head out to points north. I think they go into like Lindenwood or someplace where there's a big protected area of trees, and they spend the night there. Another big bird taking off. What is that bird? Annis, what's that bird?
Ah, that's a big one.
That's a ANA, that's a Japan Airlines. So, as birders, we also identify the planes, because they fly too. So, my life list includes about 50 species of planes. Oh. Yeah, where are the cormorants? A couple of swans, more swans. So again, this is early, very early spring. So birds are kind of dribbling in. And even when we get nice warm days, people say, oh, even into mid-April, where are the birds? It's beautiful out. They don't migrate necessarily on the one particular day. It's that sun. So the days are getting longer now, longer days. That stimulates them to hormonally to develop their beautiful spring plumage and to head north. And how they get here is amazing. Migration is not a fully understood phenomenon, but we know that most birds have a little magnetite in their brain, and they can orient north. Oh, there's the cormorant.
He
Is it a
just
great
came out.
cormorant or is it a double-crested? Yes, thank you. Now, double-crested cormorants, most of them leave, and they start coming back. We'll see big skeins or groups of them coming back all through April and into May. But some of them overwinter here, and they overwinter in the protected areas of the bay. Out in the more open bay, I expect to see the great cormorant, which is a bigger, hardier bird that's here only in winter.
Sherry got the professional birder gear right here, right? You got the big old professional lens. Look at
It just
that.
got repaired too.
That's
That's
massive.
Is that the 400,
The
100,
400?
Yes, that's the one I have.
I love this.
A great
I love
lens.
this.
You can
But
hand hold it.
Exactly.
So if you want to get great pictures of birds far away, I mean, that's pretty much what you need.
I know when I see
Not my
people,
smartphone.
when I see these photographers, they come with a little lens and they want to get closer and closer. And I say, excuse me, you know, don't get too close. You're going to scare it away. I said, get yourself a bigger lens. Oh, yes, thank you, Sarah.
Oh, the grackle?
Yes.
Oh, good.
And the
The
cormorant.
bow-tailed grackle. Look at that big, beautiful tail. And if you were in Texas, you'd have the great-tailed grackle, which is even bigger. And then we have the common grackle, which I hardly see here anymore. So this one has kind of replaced that one. But we also get brown-headed cowbirds, which are parasitic nesters. They lay their eggs in other birds' nests, especially the little warblers. I found one in a yellow warbler nest once. So what the yellow warbler did was build another nest on top of it and laid more eggs. The cowbird laid an egg in that. So sometimes you see 3 and 4 layers of nests. And, oh,
There we go.
nice
Oh, come on.
voice of the snow goose.
Well, we're about an hour in. You want to keep going down?
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up just to say here's the cormorant.
Oh, good. That's the big one we just saw in the water.
Yeah, the double crested. See the two little crests on the head? It's hard to see except when you're up close. If you want to see these birds up close, go
Thank
to
you.
the Everglades in winter. You can sit next to cormorants this close.
Oh, mallards flying
I
over.
have pictures of a photographer taking a picture one this close, and the bird is just like, oh, all right.
Have you ever gone to the West Palm Beach area? Because there's 2 preserves that we go to, and
Good
same
one.
the Green Cove,
Oh yeah.
and Rappapahachie.
Yes.
Same
Dakota Hatchie and Green Cove in Boynton Beach
Exactly.
area.
Yep.
I've been there several times.
Same sort of, you can sit within arm's
I
length.
know. It's wonderful.
Incredible. So you can have a small camera then.
This is a brush, you know.
Sure thing, Sarah. So for anyone who's tuning in, I'm going to be posting the next few sets of walks as events, and maybe we'll do the live
Yes.
on the front page.
Now, keep in mind, we're going to have an Earth Day cleanup event
Yes.
on Sunday, April 24th.
We'll post that event on our
It's the
page.
Sunday. Earth Day is April 22nd, but it's during the week, so it's going to be that Sunday after Earth Day. A big cleanup to get ready for summer. 25th. So it's Sunday, April 25th. And also, I think on the 24th, we'll be doing another program, another live program here, and you'll see, I guarantee you'll see many more birds then.
Yes.
Okay. So bye everybody. Thanks, Alex.
Yes, thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Sarah.
Thank you, Alexandra.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for tuning in. We have 22 stalwart people still tuning in. So for everyone who is still out with us, please check in the comments. You'll see the GoFundMe for those bird stickers for the refuge so that we can, get that fundraiser finished out and protect the glass from collisions from birds. So yeah,
Happy spring,
so we're looking
everybody.
forward to it. Happy spring. Thanks for joining. Bye.